To fulfill the Isaiah 9 prophecy, Messiah had to begin his ministry publicly in the Galilee. Even the rabbis confirm that the Messiah first had to be revealed in the Galilee region. But of course there is more. God is very specific in how he fulfills his words. It says in this prophecy, land of Zebulun, land of Naphtali. What's amazing here is that Nazareth is in the tribal territory of Zebulun and Capernaum is in the tribal territory of Naphtali. So Yeshua begins to fulfill this prophecy when he preaches in the synagogue in Nazareth, and when he leaves Nazareth and settles in Capernaum, which is in the territory of Naphtali, this prophecy is fulfilled. In the same way God is so precise in the way he fulfills his promises, God will be exact and will fulfill every word of promise he has spoken over your life as well. You know, The Chosen is a media phenomenon. Over 70 million people have watched the TV series, and it is the most successful crowd-funded TV project of all time, secular or religious. And what I love about The Chosen is the focus on the lives that are impacted through it. That's what the series is all about. It's what makes it unique, how the disciples and the individuals who encounter Jesus, they're changed and transformed, and that is what the heart of the Gospels and Jesus' life and ministry is all about. My life has been transformed through my encounter with Jesus. I grew up in a traditional Jewish family in the Holy Land, New Jersey, where there were more Jews than in Jerusalem. I went to Hebrew school as a child. I was bar mitzvahed at the age of 13. Being Jewish was so important. When I was working in the music industry, I looked at the lives of all these famous people and I said to myself, there has to be more to life than this. I went on a spiritual journey, studying with my rabbi, meditating through Eastern philosophy and religion. I had this supernatural encounter. My soul began to vibrate. It left my body. I went to heaven. I saw this king high and lifted up, Ram V'Nisa. The glory of God, the power of God was shaking and vibrating through my body. And I didn't know anything about Jesus, but I knew this king on the throne was Jesus, and he told me I was called to serve him. And that led me to explore who Jesus was, and I came to the understanding that he was the one of whom Moses and the prophets spoke of. Some of you might be wondering, what does the name The Chosen actually refer to? First and foremost, it's talking about Jesus. He is the chosen one, the Messiah sent by God to bring redemption. It's also talking about God's chosen people, the Jewish people, the chosen land, the promised land, where all of these stories and where so much of redemption in biblical history occurred. And it's talking about the disciples. Jesus said, many are called, but few are chosen. When you decide to believe in and follow Jesus, no matter who you are or what your background is, you become one of his chosen as well. Season 1 of The Chosen takes place in the Galilee, more specifically in the city of Capernaum. That's where Mary Magdalene and many of the disciples first encounter Jesus. I love taking people to the Galilee. It is so beautiful. And when you walk into the city, there's a big sign that says, Hometown of Jesus. But of all the cities Jesus could have chosen to base his ministry out of for 3.5 years, why did he choose the city of Capernaum? We have to understand what the scripture says and prophecy. This is what Matthew says. Leaving Nazareth, he came and settled in Capernaum, which is by the sea in the regions of Zebulun and Naphtali. This was to fulfill what was spoken through Isaiah the prophet, saying, land of Zebulun and land of Naphtali, the way of the sea beyond the Jordan, Galilee of the nations, the people sitting in darkness have seen a great light. To fulfill the Isaiah 9 prophecy, Messiah had to begin his ministry publicly in the Galilee. Even the rabbis confirm that the Messiah first had to be revealed in the Galilee region. But of course there is more. God is very specific in how he fulfills his words. It says in this prophecy, land of Zebulun, land of Naphtali. What's amazing here is that Nazareth is in the tribal territory of Zebulun and Capernaum is in the tribal territory of Naphtali. So Yeshua begins to fulfill this prophecy when he preaches in the synagogue in Nazareth, and when he leaves Nazareth and settles in Capernaum, which is in the territory of Naphtali, this prophecy is fulfilled. In the same way God is so precise in the way he fulfills his promises, God will be exact and will fulfill every word of promise he has spoken over your life as well.
Why have you stopped us?
It's not enough to say hello.
I'm on official business.
Only Roman business is official business. I'm a magistrate, not a military man. I serve the will of the people and Pilate.
And I serve only God.
Yes, yes. So do your enemies, the Sadducees, the Essenes, the Zealots, rogue preachers in the wilderness, raving about a coming Messiah. They're all vying for the people's affection.
What do you want, Quintus?
I believe taxes are going unpaid. If you help me, I will help the Pharisees continue to thrive.
How can I? The people already drowning in tax.
Tell me, Nicodemus, what can be under the water and yet never drown?
Galilee and Capernaum were not only prophetically important, they were strategically significant. Galilee was on one of the busiest crossroads and highways of the ancient world. It was said that Judea is on the road to nowhere, but Galilee is on the road to everywhere. This was even more true of Capernaum because the international highway passed right by the city. The message of the Messiah would spread more quickly to both the Jewish people as well as to the surrounding nations. That's why it's called Galilee of the Nations. It's also important because many of the key disciples of Yeshua Jesus come from there. You have Peter and Andrew, you have James and John, you have Matthew, the tax collector. In fact, when you go to Capernaum to this day, you can see the archaeological remains of what's believed to be Peter's home. It's absolutely incredible to think you can go and see where Peter actually lived and where Jesus met with the disciples. Absolutely incredible. Capernaum in Hebrew is Kefar Nahum. Kefar means city, Nahum means comfort. What's amazing about that is one of the names of the Messiah in Jewish tradition is Menachem. He is the one who brings comfort. That was to be the destiny of the city. It was to be a place where people find comfort and their souls are consoled. But for many of those who were living in the city, like Mary, like Peter and Andrew, this simply was not the case. They found no comfort there for years because the destiny of the city, the destiny that they were awaiting, could not be fulfilled until the Messiah came.